Welcome back to the Million Dollar Purpose Podcast, where we're answering the big question of how do I find my purpose and how do I get paid for it? In today's episode, we're going to be going over how to know who you're called to serve. The question isn't, am I called to serve? It's actually just, who am I called to serve and how am I called to serve them? And so in this episode, I'm going to be showing you, and first I'll tell a story of how I discovered who I'm called to serve, and then give you a little bit of a framework of how you can know who you're called to serve so that you can start serving, because Jesus said, the greatest among you will be the greatest servant. And if you're not serving people right now, then it's probably why you feel unfulfilled. And if you're serving the wrong group of people right now, you might also feel unfulfilled at that point. And so these are really big issues. So we want to start with who am I called to serve and how am I called to serve them? Now, I'll tell you about my story of how I discovered ultimately who I'm called to serve. So about 4 years ago, I was in a multi-level marketing company and I was serving. I was serving physical products to people who needed help with weight loss, mental fog. They needed clarity. They needed these things that physical products could solve, right? Or could help them with. They needed more energy. That's another one. And I was serving people with these products, and yes, a lot of them got transformation. But the problem was, I was not serving the group of people that I was called to serve. Hence why the fruit, I wasn't bearing much fruit. The testimonies came in, but it didn't hit quite the same as it does now. And so what God revealed to me as I transitioned industries was that I needed to serve the people He called me to serve. And that was a huge realization. That was like, holy moly, I'm not serving the people I'm called to serve. I need to do that. And when I transitioned from serving people in the multi-level marketing industry to serving people in the coaching industry, specifically business owners, entrepreneurs, Christian coaches, that's when everything changed. Again, I told you already, my income skyrocketed as a complete beginner in the course creation industry. I went from $0 to $20,000 in 4 months. And I couldn't even have dreamed of those kind of results before in the other industry. And it's simply because I wasn't serving who I was called to serve, and I wasn't serving them in the way that I was called to serve them. And so that's how I discovered that it does matter who you're serving. Because if you're serving the wrong group of people, you might see some transformation, but ultimately, you won't experience that divine fulfillment, that divine, it's the fulfillment of your purpose. It's the fulfillment of your destiny, knowing you're making an impact on a certain group of people, the group of people God sent you to this earth to serve. And if you're serving them in the wrong way, maybe you're serving the right group of people, but you're serving them in the wrong way. Like, for instance, I tried one-on-one coaching, and it was a good method, and it could definitely do a lot of good. But what I found was that serving people in course creation was the method that was the best method for me, because I could serve an unlimited amount of those same people who needed my help. And not only that, I could give them true transformation. Coaching one-on-one, ultimately, I wouldn't be able to serve an unlimited amount of people. My time can only go so far. And the help that I can offer them, I can't, with my words, give them the tools they need to succeed. And I'm sure I could help someone the way that I help them via course creation in the same way, but it would take much longer. They wouldn't get the transformation as faster, and they wouldn't be able to get their hands on the tools as fast as they can through my current program, Million Dollar Purpose Course Creator. But with the course creation platform, where I can serve 20 entrepreneurs at the same time with the same tools, give them so much transformation, everything they need to be successful at once. Even while I'm sleeping, they can be working on it all around the world. They don't need me to hold their hand. Now that is where true transformation comes from, and the impact that I was called to make. It could be different for you. You could be called to serve people one-on-one. You could be called to serve people through your writing, maybe ebooks, maybe low ticket, courses, or maybe you're on the high end. Maybe you're called to serve people in high end masterminds, high ticket programs, high ticket courses, which is what I teach. I teach people how to create medium to high ticket courses and sell them on autopilot so they can transform as many lives as possible without selling their time. And so it matters who, but it also matters how. So here's how I would suggest you start discovering who and how you're called to serve a specific group of people. We'll cover the who first. The who is likely, I want to start with love first. Love first. Because, man, I love talking about entrepreneurship. I love talking about business. I love coaching people. I love everything about business and selling and helping people and transforming lives. And it lights me up. I love it. I had been studying it for 4 years before I became a business coach. And you can tell even by the energy shift and just talking about how much I love it. I love it. It is everything to me. I will continue to study it until probably the day that I die because I just enjoy it so much. I love it. And so now I got to ask you, what is it that you love so much that you can just talk about it for days? You study it. Maybe you're a current student of it. Maybe you're not a master. You don't have to be a master. I wasn't a business master. I wasn't a guru. I wasn't making millions of dollars when I started being a business coach. I was qualified by the fact that I loved it and I could help also people get results because I was 10 steps ahead of the person behind me. And that's all you need to be, is 10 steps ahead of the person you're trying to teach and serve. That's all. 10 steps ahead. You don't have to have made millions. You don't have to have had certifications, degrees, and all this stuff. I heard a story about Tony Robbins. He's a billionaire who started learning NLT. I think that's what it's called, NLT. Well, he was going through a certification program. And when he learned, he wasn't even done with the program, but he knew how to help people with that specific technique. So then he went across the street from where he was having the certification program, and he started helping people. I think they said it was at a McDonald's. He started helping them quit smoking cigarettes, quit these addictions, and helping them restore their marriage. I don't know, with all kinds of different things, using the NLT or NLP, one of those method that he had learned. And you know what happened to Tony? Well, they said, you can't practice this technique unless you have a certification. And Tony said, no, I know how to help people, so I'm helping them. And they kicked him out of the certification program because of that. You don't need another certification. And you see what has happened. He has gone on to make billions of dollars and help countless people change their lives. Incredible. And that's the thing that holds so many back. Oh, I'm not good enough to serve them. Well, some people you're not going to be good enough to serve. And that's okay because they're not your people. I'm not teaching the multimillionaires how to make more money. I'm teaching the people who ain't making no money how to make 5K, 10K months. I'm teaching the people who are making $1,000 or who have seen some success how to make $5,000, $10,000 months on autopilot. I don't claim to be a multi-million-dollar coach. I don't claim that yet, right? Now, this should not hold you back. Your certifications, the amount of experience you had, no, none of that. It's about what you love to do. And if you're 10 steps ahead of the person who you're called to serve, that is all you need. All right? So that's more about the who. Now let's talk about the how. How am I called to serve these people? Now, I can't say every single method of how you can serve people. Okay? I'm in the specialty of serving people at such a high level that they will pay you for your service. That's what I teach. I teach you how to get paid for serving people. Now, we're all called to serve, right? We can serve people by giving them some money, like a homeless person, giving them some money, giving them some resources, some water, some food, etc. We can serve. I have a friend, her name is Christina. She is an excellent person. And you know how she serves people? She serves people at Chick-fil-A and other restaurants. Every single time she goes to Chick-fil-A, and it is often, she tells people about the gospel. Every time, without fail, right? She starts conversation. I'm telling you, I've been with her so much for hours at a restaurant together, multiple times. And she'll say to moms who have kids, to women, anybody, I hope you're raising your babies to love Jesus. Oh, do you have a home church? And she will tell them about our church. She will invite them to church. She will talk to them about God for hours and hours. And that is just such a high level of service. Now, for Christina, she gets paid in eternal rewards. Eternal rewards. And that is her calling, and you can tell it's her calling. She wants to see people get saved. She wants to see souls get saved, and it is a beautiful calling. I don't specialize in helping people find their calling outside of monetization. There are people out there who do. So if that's you, and you're like, I really don't care about getting paid, I just want to serve people. We're all called to do that as Christians, by the way. We're all called to be good people and serve people outside of monetization. I'm not saying your only calling to serve is inside of a platform where you can get paid. What I am saying is there are people whose calling has nothing to do with getting paid. I don't specialize in that. Okay? So if you want that, you can find someone else who does specialize in that. However, if you do want to serve people at such a high level that they would be willing and happy to pay you for the transformation you offer, then that's what we'll talk about now. Okay, I love talking about my friend Christina. I'm glad I got to share that because she's incredible. I admire her so much. I admire the work that she does. So, anyways, so for the how, for the people who want to get paid and serve people, right? There are a couple different ways you can do it. There really is. Some pay more than others, right? I told you I started in multi-level marketing. I was still serving people, not the right people, and I did make money. I made $17,000 in my very first year. Okay? Now, I've tried ebooks, which my ebook has been selling recently, and I priced it at $3.99. So, therefore, if enough people buy it, I'm going to make a pretty good, little side money, right? Not something to live on, okay? So, that's why I don't recommend low-ticket ebooks or low-ticket courses. I've sold low-ticket courses as well, and just not enough to make life-changing income. That's why I don't teach that. And then I've sold medium to high ticket courses. That's when you start reaching life-changing income. I'm telling you, that is where the money is. And you do it in such a way that you are able to make money even while you sleep, which is cuckoo bananas. Crazy town amazing. I remember when I woke up to my first $2,000 sale, it's just like, it doesn't blow my mind anymore. It's still mind-blowing, but it's like when you receive your first $2,000 sale while you're sleeping, your brain, depending on where you are in like your money mindset, it explodes. It's like, oh my gosh, I have been doing all this stuff, and all I had to do was set up a system to show me, to be able to enroll people on autopilot. It's like, it's crazy town. It's crazy, amazing town. And so that's what I recommend. That's what I teach. I will drop a free training in the description for anybody who's interested in learning how to do that. Now, there are other ways. There's millions of ways to make money online and also to serve people. You just got to find the way that's right for you. I only teach one way right now. And so it's about learning who you're called to serve and how you're called to serve them. It's not about if you're called to serve. You already know that. And if you're listening to this podcast, you're likely called to serve and get paid for doing it. So I want to encourage you to take action on discovering that who and the how immediately, because you're missing out on the fullness of your life without this piece of service. That's how we experience fulfillment. I hope this helps. God bless you. Thank you for listening again. And I'm just wishing you so much purpose and prosperity.